After realizing that a cultivator from the Yao clan was approaching, Wang Lin flew toward the incoming sword energy like a meteor, while Yao Changdong accelerated toward him with a confident grin and obvious contempt. The retreating corporeal young old man also relaxed, believing Wang Lin would soon be occupied by Yao Changdong and would no longer threaten him. At that critical moment, Ta Shan suddenly erupted with an extremely brilliant golden light that became dozens of times brighter than before. The intense light was powerful enough to blind ordinary people instantly and even caused cultivators' eyes to ache. Because the old man was so close to Ta Shan, his vision was completely obstructed. As he attempted to spread out his divine sense, Ta Shan immediately launched another fierce attack, forcing the old man to concentrate solely on defending himself. Taking advantage of the brief opening, Wang Lin stepped forward, created ripples beneath his feet, and instantly disappeared. Although the old man could no longer see, his instincts warned him of danger, and he immediately released a massive amount of origin energy, attempting to form a protective vortex. However, he was too late. Wang Lin suddenly appeared behind him before the vortex could fully form and struck the old man's back with 2 fingers filled with powerful origin energy. The attack sent violent origin energy surging through the old man's body. Instead of resisting, the old man attempted to use the force of the attack to escape. At that exact instant, Ta Shan's forehead tattoo merged into his right fist, dramatically increasing its power before he unleashed a devastating punch. The old man desperately spat out a mouthful of origin energy to create a defensive shield. Although the shield briefly blocked Ta Shan's fist, it shattered instantly under the impact. The old man was blasted backward, coughing up blood as his injuries worsened. Even so, his experience allowed him to transform his body into a blood shadow that merged with the blood he had spat out, enabling him to narrowly escape Wang Lin and Ta Shan's perfectly coordinated assault. Wang Lin's expression darkened. Instead of chasing, he immediately swung his hand and released a heavenly chop. The enormous sword energy split the escaping blood shadow in half, causing the old man to let out a miserable scream. His physical body was destroyed, but his origin soul escaped wrapped in bloodlight after abandoning his body. Since there was no time to pursue the escaping origin soul, Wang Lin immediately formed hand seals and summoned the celestial sealing stamp to defend himself. At that very moment, Yao Changdong's sword energy suddenly changed direction and slammed directly into the celestial sealing stamp. The collision produced a heaven-shaking explosion. Although Wang Lin's expression remained calm, the tremendous impact caused the origin energy inside his body to churn violently. The celestial sealing stamp was pushed backward, forcing Wang Lin to retreat more than 100 feet before he finally stabilized himself. As the dazzling light faded, Yao Changdong revealed himself. He was a young man dressed entirely in white, standing proudly atop an enormous 30-foot flying sword unlike any Wang Lin had ever seen. The gigantic sword radiated overwhelming sword intent capable of tearing apart space itself. Yao Changdong proudly introduced himself as a third-generation member of the Yao family and arrogantly declared that Wang Lin's misfortune was meeting him. He boasted that even if Wang Lin begged for mercy, it would be useless. Secretly, however, Yao Changdong wanted to eliminate Wang Lin before Yao Bingyun arrived so that all the credit would belong to him alone. Wang Lin remained completely calm. From his experiences in the All-Heaven star system, he had already noticed that cultivators from the major cultivation families possessed extraordinary pride. Very different from the scheming and ruthless mentality of cultivators in the Alliance star system. Wang Lin calmly clasped his hands as though he intended to speak, but instead suddenly spat out a sword condensed from essence origin energy. The illusory sword shot toward Yao Changdong with astonishing speed while Wang Lin simultaneously disappeared into the void. The essence sword reached Yao Changdong almost instantly. Yao Changdong merely snorted and formed a hand seal, producing a green skull that attempted to devour the incoming sword. As his attention focused on the sword, Wang Lin suddenly appeared behind him and attacked with 2 fingers before immediately disappearing again without waiting to see the result. Yao Changdong instantly turned and fired 2 beams of light from his eyes. But Wang Lin had already vanished, causing the attacks to miss completely. At that moment, the celestial sealing stamp began rotating before smashing downward with tremendous pressure. Hundreds of golden sealing runes emerged from the stamp and flew toward Yao Changdong, attempting to seal him. Each time Yao Changdong looked up or reacted to the descending stamp, Wang Lin would suddenly appear beside him, launch a heavenly chop or another quick attack, and instantly disappear again. Wang Lin continuously repeated this ghost-like tactic, making it impossible for Yao Changdong to counterattack. Although none of the individual attacks seriously threatened him, Yao Changdong was forced to respond to every single appearance. He gradually lost all initiative and became trapped in a purely defensive position. Despite having participated in many battles, he had never encountered such an elusive fighting style. He could not even touch Wang Lin's shadow while simultaneously enduring the pressure of the descending celestial sealing stamp and the endless sealing runes. Becoming increasingly frustrated, Yao Changdong finally activated the enormous sword beneath his feet. The giant sword split into 19 smaller swords that rapidly formed a mysterious sword array around him. The sword formation released tremendous origin energy, creating a massive vortex that twisted the surrounding space and disrupted Wang Lin's movement technique, forcing Wang Lin to reappear more than 1,000 feet away. Wang Lin immediately shouted for the seal to tighten. Even more golden runes rushed toward Yao Changdong as the celestial sealing stamp continued descending. Yao Changdong responded by directing the 19 sword formation upward to collide directly with the descending stamp. The violent collision temporarily halted the celestial sealing stamp, allowing Yao Changdong to attempt an escape from beneath it. However, Ta Shan suddenly appeared beside him and immediately launched another barrage of devastating punches, preventing his escape. Seeing the opportunity, Wang Lin summoned the celestial sword. With Shu Leguo already returned to it, Wang Lin poured enormous amounts of origin energy into the sword and unleashed heavenly chop after heavenly chop without pause. One slash became 2, then 3, until he had released 20 heavenly chops in succession. Although this nearly exhausted all of his origin energy, the 20 attacks fused together into one gigantic heavenly chop capable of tearing apart space and destroying the very laws of the world. The enormous sword energy struck Yao Changdong's sword vortex, breaking through its defenses. Through the opening created by the heavenly chop, countless golden sealing runes flooded inside and rapidly sealed Yao Changdong. Without giving him any chance to recover, Wang Lin teleported above the celestial sealing stamp itself, sat cross-legged upon it, formed hand seals with both hands, and poured every remaining trace of origin energy into the stamp before forcing it downward with all his strength. At that instant, Ta Shan's relentless punches, the gigantic heavenly chop, the countless golden sealing runes, and the celestial sealing stamp all struck Yao Changdong simultaneously. When the celestial sealing stamp finally smashed down completely, an earth-shattering explosion erupted across the starry sky, producing a deafening roar that echoed tens of thousands of kilometers away, sounding as though an entire cultivation planet had collapsed. Yao Changdong let out a furious roar beneath the celestial sealing stamp as an overwhelming and suffocating aura erupted from his body. The tremendous force pushed the celestial sealing stamp away, tore apart its countless golden sealing runes, and sent violent shockwaves through the battlefield. Ta Shan's right fist shattered upon impact. Half of his body was damaged by the resulting ripple, and he was blasted far into the distance. Yao Changdong emerged with disheveled hair and tattered clothes. But despite his miserable appearance, he had not suffered the slightest injury. Floating before him was a fist-sized celestial core, similar to a cultivator's core, which had absorbed every attack Wang Lin had launched. Gritting his teeth, Yao Changdong declared that Wang Lin was only the second person ever to force him to use the celestial pill bestowed by his ancestor. His desire to kill Wang Lin was no longer because of the heaven order issued by the Yao family, but because of the humiliation and anger Wang Lin had caused him. Throughout the battle, Wang Lin's relentless attacks had forced him into constant defense without any chance to counterattack, placing him in the most disadvantageous position he had ever experienced. Wang Lin retreated with a gloomy expression, took out his soul flag, devoured 2 illusory yin origin souls to replenish his origin energy, and stared coldly at the celestial core. He realized that even though he had perfectly arranged the battle from the beginning and could confidently kill any corporeal yang cultivator with such tactics, he had completely failed to injure a nirvana scryer cultivator. He understood that the difference between the 2 realms was enormous. Even if the celestial core had not existed, Yao Changdong undoubtedly possessed many other powerful celestial techniques inherited from the Yao family's celestial realm legacy. Yao Changdong immediately began his counterattack. With the celestial core revolving around his body, He cast the celestial spell Void Collapse, causing the very space occupied by Wang Lin to collapse. Wang Lin retreated continuously, but every place he stepped into immediately collapsed behind him with violent explosions. Without giving Wang Lin any chance to breathe, Yao Changdong followed with imagined collapse, causing endless waves of collapsing space to chase Wang Lin relentlessly. Remaining calm, Wang Lin merged with the world through his spatial movement technique, disappeared completely, and instantly reappeared 100 feet behind Yao Changdong. He immediately unleashed Heavenly Chop, but before the attack could strike, the celestial core intercepted it and completely absorbed its power. Turning around with a cruel grin, Yao Changdong cast the celestial spell 19 Souls. He spat out a mouthful of white mist filled with miserable cries, from which 19 completely black infant spirits emerged. These terrifying infant souls rushed toward Wang Lin together with the mist. Wang Lin once again merged with the world, causing the attack to miss. The 19 infant souls eventually returned to Yao Changdong and revolved around him as protection. Determined to eliminate Wang Lin's spatial escape technique once and for all, Yao Changdong reached toward the celestial core and declared that he was willing to accept punishment from his ancestor if it meant breaking Wang Lin's spell. He crushed the celestial core with his own hand, releasing an unimaginably destructive force. The resulting storm distorted all origin energy within 100,000 feet, throwing the surrounding world's origin energy completely out of balance. Since Wang Lin's merging technique depended upon stable origin energy, he could no longer remain hidden and was forced to reappear 1,000 feet away. Killing intent filled Wang Lin's eyes as he summoned the withered Dao pair. The ferocious beast bone emitted an eerie gray light filled with evil aura. Yao Changdong immediately had the 19 infant souls merge into a giant baby illusion surrounding him. However, before the giant infant could even complete its roar, the gray petrification light covered it completely, turning the entire illusion into stone. Wang Lin immediately seized this brief opportunity to retreat, devoured 2 more illusory yin origin souls to restore his energy again, raised his right hand, and cast Call the Wind. Endless black wind gathered around him before expanding into a massive black dragon that roared across the starry sky and exhaled freezing wind capable of destroying both body and soul. Yao Changdong initially looked down on the attack, but the instant the freezing wind approached, he felt terrifying cold invading his body and even sensed his origin soul beginning to collapse. Horrified, he rapidly retreated and cast the celestial spell Cloud Calamity. Thick storm clouds instantly surrounded him while lightning flashed throughout them, creating a complete defensive barrier. However, the black dragon's freezing wind instantly dispersed the clouds and shattered the defense, exposing a terrified Yao Changdong. Trembling, he shouted in disbelief, asking what kind of celestial spell Wang Lin was using. Realizing the danger, Yao Changdong bit his teeth and spat out a mouthful of essence origin energy before casting Blood Soul. 6 cycles, one of the blood god ancestor's greatest celestial spells. Although the technique consumed almost all of his remaining origin energy and left his face pale, it successfully formed a massive blood vortex that rose into the sky like a scarlet tornado. The blood vortex collided directly with the black dragon's freezing wind, and after an intense struggle, the 2 powers completely cancelled each other out. Seeing Wang Lin still standing after surviving everything, Yao Changdong decided to use his final trump card. He took out an Emperor Celestial Talisman given to him by his ancestor. After biting his tongue and spraying essence blood onto the talisman, the complex red rune upon it came alive. Green flames ignited at one corner of the talisman as he ordered it to kill Wang Lin. The Emperor Celestial Talisman shot forward at incredible speed, piercing effortlessly through both the Blood Soul Vortex and the remaining freezing wind without suffering any damage. Wang Lin immediately recognized the talisman because it was almost identical to the 2 Emperor Celestial Talismans in his own possession. However, the aura emitted by Yao Changdong's talisman was incomparably terrifying. Wang Lin instantly realized that he had absolutely no way to resist it. Feeling an unprecedented life-threatening crisis, Wang Lin immediately summoned the god-slaying war chariot while taking out one of his own Emperor Celestial Talismans. He copied Yao Changdong's activation method by spraying his own essence blood onto it before sending it forward. The 2 Emperor Celestial Talismans collided violently, creating a massive explosion. Wang Lin's talisman was completely destroyed and reduced to dust. But a tiny fingernail-sized fragment of Yao Changdong's talisman survived the collision. That remaining fragment shot directly into the space between Wang Lin's eyebrows. Wang Lin's body trembled violently as intense heat spread from his forehead throughout his entire body. A horrifying sealing force instantly erupted and spread through every part of him. Wang Lin immediately recognized the power as the tattoo power of the chosen immortal clan. But it was far stronger than any tattoo power he had ever encountered. In only an instant, all of his origin energy and even his origin soul were completely sealed. He became no different from an ordinary mortal. His body weakened so severely that he could no longer remain standing in space. And only because Ta Shan allowed Wang Lin to sit upon his left arm did he avoid falling into the endless void. Every treasure that required origin energy immediately became useless. And even Call the Wind completely disappeared. Only the god-slaying war chariot, which had transformed into a butterfly, remained active because it could continue operating independently once activated. Laughing triumphantly, Yao Changdong concluded that Wang Lin had completely lost the ability to resist. He condensed origin energy into his sword fingers and charged directly toward Wang Lin, intending to destroy both his physical body and origin soul with a single strike. Just as he closed in, the butterfly gently flapped its wings. An invisible attack instantly exploded Yao Changdong's chest, sending him flying backward over 100 feet. After stabilizing himself, the butterfly flapped its wings again. Knowing he could not survive repeated attacks, Yao Changdong took out another talisman, but instead of attacking with it, he pressed it against his own forehead. The talisman infused his entire body with immense tattoo power, covering him with countless protective tattoos. Every time the butterfly flapped its wings, large numbers of tattoos shattered, but the remaining tattoos continuously protected him. Ignoring the damage, Yao Changdong relentlessly advanced toward Wang Lin. Filled with determination, he concluded that Wang Lin absolutely had to die today. A corporeal young cultivator already possessed strength capable of forcing him into such desperate circumstances. If Wang Lin ever reached the Nirvana Scryer realm, Yao Changdong knew he would never again be able to defeat him. Wang Lin sat cross-legged on Ta Shan's left arm while Ta Shan continuously retreated, attempting to widen the distance between them and Yao Changdong. However, Yao Changdong's speed was overwhelming. As the tattoos covering his body exploded with power, he rapidly closed the gap. Facing a life-and-death crisis, Wang Lin's killing intent vanished and was replaced by complete calmness. Closing his eyes, he reflected that his original domain had been life and death before evolving into karma. He realized that although living beings might escape life and death, nothing in existence could escape karma. Rather than relying on origin energy or magical treasures, Wang Lin decided to fight using the greatest product of his 1,000 years of cultivation, his Tao. His domain, the comprehension he had accumulated throughout his life. He activated the karma domain that he had not used for a very long time. Spreading out his arms, he declared that his left hand held the karmic cause of the world while his right hand held the karmic effect. Opening his eyes, with a sun appearing in his left eye and a moon in his right, he pointed toward Yao Changdong and called forth karmic cause. Instantly, the surrounding stars vanished as though the universe itself had disappeared. Wang Lin's figure seemed to expand infinitely, and an invisible whip connected into a great circular ring representing karma. Yao Changdong abruptly halted, not because he was physically restrained, but because his instincts warned him that taking another step would trap him forever inside Wang Lin's karma. Even if he succeeded in killing Wang Lin, he sensed he would never escape the endless cycle of karma and would remain imprisoned forever. This was no battle of cultivation or divine abilities, but a battle of Tao. Such battles could only be answered with one's own Tao. And very few cultivators could fully display their Tao because it depended entirely on one's understanding of the world, life, and oneself rather than cultivation level alone. Although shocked that Xu Mu could actually manifest his Tao, Yao Changdong refused to retreat. Sitting down less than 30 feet away, he closed his eyes as a magnificent golden celestial shadow emerged above his head. Filled with elegant celestial aura, the figure gradually solidified. Yao Changdong declared that the Yao family, as descendants of celestials, had transformed the glory of their celestial ancestors into both their domain and their Tao. Their unwavering faith in that inherited glory formed the foundation of their cultivation. And he believed all other domains would shatter before the glory of the celestials. The celestial shadow stepped toward Wang Lin's karma circle as Yao Changdong's reverence caused it to become increasingly corporeal. Wang Lin calmly responded that celestial glory belonged only to the past. The glory of the celestials itself was merely the karmic cause, while the collapse of the celestial realm was the karmic effect. Lowering his left hand and raising his right, he lightly clenched his fist. The karma circle began rotating, transforming into a massive vortex with karmic cause outside and karmic effect inside. Wang Lin declared that even the celestials themselves had failed to escape karma. So how could their descendants? He mocked the Yao family's Tao as fragile because it relied entirely on worshipping their ancestors rather than understanding their own path, leaving them forever trapped beneath their ancestors' shadow. The karma circle floated toward the celestial shadow before stopping directly in front of it. Wang Lin continued attacking the very foundation of Yao Changdong's Tao. He argued that the celestials had never cultivated domains because they arrogantly relied on their overwhelming celestial spiritual energy to seize the power of heaven itself. And this had become their greatest mistake. The collapse of the celestial realm was the unavoidable result of that karmic cause. Even the incomparably powerful celestial emperor had eventually gone mad after opposing the heavens and died because of it. Since Yao Changdong's ancestor was far inferior to the celestial emperor, there was no possibility that he could escape the same fate. Wang Lin declared that the death of Yao Changdong's ancestor was itself karma. The Yao family's so-called glory was therefore empty. For if the celestials truly possessed glorious power, why had they all perished? Instead of seeking the true reason behind their ancestors' destruction, the Yao family blindly worshipped their ancestors' former glory. Consequently, not only was Yao Changdong's Tao empty, but even the Tao of his celestial ancestors had ultimately proven empty, guaranteeing that the Yao family itself would one day perish. Wang Lin's relentless words directly struck Yao Changdong's Tao heart. Unable to refute a single argument, Yao Changdong coughed up a large mouthful of blood as his spiritual will suffered severe injury. Doubt, something that had never existed within him before, quietly appeared. Simultaneously, the celestial shadow outside the karma circle became noticeably blurry. Wang Lin continued pressing the attack. He declared that the glory Yao Changdong worshipped existed only in his own imagination. He asked whether Yao Changdong had ever truly witnessed his ancestors' glory or personally experienced it. Everything he believed in was merely an illusion fabricated by later generations. Wang Lin contrasted this with his own Tao, explaining that every step of his cultivation had been forged through genuine suffering, the pain of parting from loved ones, endless slaughter, the bitterness of losing people dear to him, the death of his son, and personally removing the resentment lingering within his son's soul. These countless experiences allowed him to comprehend life and death, understand the world, reject fate itself, and complete the life and death domain before ultimately evolving it into the karma domain. Yao Changdong, on the other hand, possessed only an inherited illusion that had already vanished together with the celestial realm. His glory had died alongside his ancestors long ago. Wang Lin finally shouted that the Yao family's attempt to kill him was the karmic cause, while having their Tao destroyed beneath his karma domain was the inevitable karmic effect. As those words echoed, Yao Changdong trembled violently and spat out another large mouthful of blood. His face became deathly pale, his eyes filled with confusion, and the celestial shadow above him completely shattered. The battle of Tao immediately ended, the surrounding stars reappeared, and reality returned to normal. Wang Lin's karma domain also dissipated, while the last remaining talisman fragment between his eyebrows shattered after enduring the tremendous burden of the Tao battle. As soon as his origin energy returned, Wang Lin rushed forward. At that exact moment, the butterfly beside him gently flapped its wings. Under that terrifying destructive force, Yao Changdong's body instantly collapsed, followed by his storage bag. Every trace of his existence was completely erased from the world. Although victorious, Wang Lin immediately suffered severe backlash. His face became pale and he coughed up blood, realizing once again that battles of Tao were unimaginably dangerous and should never be used unless there was absolutely no alternative. He understood that Tao itself was not actually as fragile as he had claimed during the battle. The reason his words had succeeded was because Yao Changdong's Tao heart had always been unstable. Having lived a sheltered life, he lacked true life experience and had never been tempered by genuine hardship. Compared to him, Cultivators from the Alliance star system possessed far stronger Tao hearts because they survived through endless slaughter, constant life and death struggles, and absolute self-reliance. Their teachers could never truly protect their disciples. A single mistake meant death. It was a world governed entirely by survival of the fittest. Unlike the relatively protected environment of the All-Heaven star system, Wang Lin withdrew all his treasures, and Ta Shan returned to his shadow. Though heavily injured, the killing intent in Wang Lin's eyes only intensified. He coldly declared that if the Yao family wished to hunt him down, they would have to pay an equally bloody price. Taking one step forward, ripples spread beneath his feet as he merged with the world and disappeared without leaving a trace. Moments after Wang Lin vanished, a ripple appeared nearby. An extraordinarily beautiful woman dressed in white emerged. Although her expression was cold enough to keep others away, her beauty was flawless. Slightly frowning, she also merged with the world and silently pursued Wang Lin. At the same time, on a blood-red planet within the eastern domain, an enormous ancestral temple belonging to the Yao family stood with a massive wooden plaque bearing the character, Yao. An old man with scarlet eyebrows sat inside before countless ancestral life tokens infused with rich origin energy. Suddenly, one token near the bottom cracked before splitting completely in half, signaling Yao Changdong's death. The old man slowly opened his eyes, gazed at the shattered token, and calmly remarked that another one had finally died. Calling Wang Lin by name and identifying him as someone from the Alliance star system, he declared that he wished to see exactly how many members of the Yao family Wang Lin could kill and warned him not to disappoint him. Revealing himself as the blood god, the old man pointed at the shattered token, drawing out a strand of white energy into his sleeve before coldly giving a single order: continue the killing. Wang Lin escaped from his battle with Yao Changdong and appeared in a starry region of the All-Heaven star system. Badly injured and exhausted, he admitted that Yao Changdong truly deserved his reputation as an early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivator and that the difference in their cultivation levels had nearly cost him his life. He believed that if he had also reached the Nirvana scryer stage, killing Yao Changdong would have been easy, knowing he needed to recover before continuing his revenge against the Yao family. Wang Lin repeatedly used spatial bending to merge with the world while searching for a safe hiding place. Soon after Wang Lin disappeared, a cold woman emerged from the void and recognized that he had used spatial bending twice consecutively, demonstrating an extremely profound understanding of the world's origin energy. She was Yao Bingyun, known as the Ice Phoenix and one of the three famous phoenixes of the Yao family's eastern domain. Although her natural talent was not exceptional, her dedication to pursuing the Tao was extraordinary. After reaching the ascendant stage, she cultivated the forbidden celestial spell Soul Seal, which sealed all 5 senses of the origin soul. The spell was one of the Yao family's 3 great forbidden techniques because even a slight mistake would trap the cultivator inside the seal forever and lead to death. Many Yao family members had died attempting it, causing very few people to continue cultivating it. Yao Bingyun spent 500 years cultivating in seclusion on the Yao family's ice planet. After emerging, she became even colder and more emotionless, devoting her life entirely to comprehending the Tao. Among the Yao family's 3rd generation, only 2 people had mastered spatial bending, and Yao Bingyun possessed the deeper understanding. Although she normally ignored family affairs, she accepted the mission to hunt Wang Lin because the Yao family ancestor, Blood God, had promised that whoever personally killed Xu Mu could request one favor from the entire Yao family. She accepted only because she wanted to save her sister. The pursuit continued for 10 days. Wang Lin gradually realized someone was closely following him and became increasingly cautious. During this time, news of Xu Mu's appearance spread rapidly across the All-Heaven star system. Cultivators learned that 28 experts, including 3 corporeal yang cultivators, 9 illusory yin cultivators, and 16 peak ascendant cultivators, had attempted to intercept him, but Wang Lin slaughtered 26 of them. One surviving illusory yin cultivator immediately declared that his cultivation family and planet would no longer participate in the conflict between Xu Mu and the Yao family, while the surviving corporeal yang cultivator returned with a severely damaged origin soul, entered closed-door cultivation, and also withdrew from the conflict. Soon afterward, news leaked that Wang Lin had even killed Yao Changdong, an early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivator of the Yao family's 3rd generation. This shocking development spread throughout the All-Heaven star system, making Shu Emu's reputation even more terrifying because the hunter sent under the Heaven Order had instead been killed. In response, the Yao family quickly mobilized numerous family members and allied cultivation families toward the western domain, gradually forming a tightening blockade to trap Wang Lin. Meanwhile, Wang Lin relied entirely on remaining merged with the world instead of making long-distance movements. He constantly changed directions while competing directly with his unseen pursuer through their understanding of spatial bending. Whoever could remain merged with the world longer would gain the advantage. Wang Lin benefited from his previous experience when Master Flamespark had controlled his body, allowing him to endure longer than normal. After 16 days, Yao Bingyun finally reached her limit and was forced to emerge from the void, allowing Wang Lin to immediately disappear from her perception. Remaining calm, she used a small mirror to calculate his location before merging with the world once more to continue the pursuit. Eventually, Wang Lin appeared near an abandoned cultivation planet located between the western and northern domains. Completely exhausted, seriously injured, and believing he had finally escaped his pursuer, he decided to recover there. The planet was devoid of spiritual energy and covered in ancient ruins. Wang Lin chose a basin as his hiding place, released the soul flag to fill the area with black mist, established numerous restrictions for protection, and began healing while Ta Shan emerged from his shadow to guard him. Ta Shan's right arm was broken, his body was covered with wounds, and he was in poor condition. Pressed for time, Wang Lin repeatedly extracted illusory yin origin souls from the soul flag, crushed them, and devoured their origin energy to restore himself. After consuming 4 origin souls over 6 hours, his condition improved considerably. He then opened all the storage bags taken from the cultivators he had killed, erased their divine senses, removed every treasure inside, crushed them into liquid essence, and fused the materials into Ta Shan's body to repair him. After 2 more days, Ta Shan's bones had completely recovered, leaving him only slightly weakened. Once Wang Lin finished recovering, he flew into the sky while Ta Shan merged back into his shadow. He also recalled the soul flag from the surrounding black mist and stored it away. At that exact moment, Yao Bingyun arrived outside the abandoned planet and located Wang Lin through her mirror. However, before she could activate it, the mirror suddenly shattered. Wang Lin burst out from the planet with overwhelming killing intent, surrounded by purple thunder that greatly increased his speed. Instead of escaping, he charged directly toward Yao Bingyun. She remained perfectly calm, raised one finger as blue ice crystals rapidly condensed around it, and cast the spell Icebreak. A freezing aura immediately spread through space, causing the surrounding void to freeze outward from her fingertip. Wang Lin's expression became serious, but he refused to retreat. Instead, he released all the thunder within his body and sent it forward to collide head-on with the advancing ice. Wang Lin's thunderballs exploded with earth-shattering force, briefly slowing the advance of Yao Bingyun's ice. At that moment, Ta Shan emerged from Wang Lin's shadow and struck the ice with his uninjured left fist while Wang Lin cast Call the Wind, summoning a black wind that swept toward Yao Bingyun. Wang Lin showed no hesitation or mercy despite his opponent being a woman. The black wind instantly shattered the ice, allowing Ta Shan to continue his attack. But Yao Bingyun calmly uttered blood collapse, Ta Shan suddenly trembled as blood erupted from his body, forming a blood mist that prevented him from throwing his punch. A powerful force knocked him back, forcing him to retreat into Wang Lin's shadow. Wang Lin immediately felt the same strange power condense around him. His blood began flowing violently through his body as if it were boiling and about to burst from every pore. Killing intent flashed across his eyes as he clenched his hand, causing the black wind to condense into a black dragon that breathed an extremely cold wind toward Yao Bingyun. For the first time during the battle, Yao Bingyun's expression changed. She quickly formed hand seals and summoned a brilliant blue core to block the attack. Realizing that continuing the fight would only end in defeat, Wang Lin decisively abandoned the battle and merged with the world to escape. Yao Bingyun immediately attempted to pursue him, but even while merged with the world she could not avoid the black dragon's freezing wind. Her blue core collided with the attack, and after a series of crackling sounds the cold wind disappeared. But the blue core had noticeably dimmed and lost much of its spiritual power. With a gloomy expression, she stored the blue core, spread her divine sense through the world, and relentlessly continued chasing Wang Lin. After escaping, Wang Lin headed directly toward the northern domain, intending to cross the River of Stars separating it from the western domain. However, when he arrived about 5,000 kilometers from the border, he discovered countless cultivators stationed there. They continuously disturbed the surrounding origin energy to prevent anyone from passing by merging with the world. The majority of these cultivators were not members of the Yao family but experts from numerous cultivation families who had gathered solely because of the Yao family's reward. In contrast, the actual Yao family members remained safely behind the front lines, watching everything unfold. Wang Lin immediately understood that attempting to cross the disrupted area would almost certainly force him to reappear in the middle of the blockade, where he would be overwhelmed and killed by the countless waiting cultivators. Gritting his teeth, he abandoned the attempt and retreated. However, several divine senses immediately discovered him, and one of them deliberately disrupted the surrounding origin energy. Wang Lin was forced to emerge from the world about 10,000 feet away. Countless cultivators rushed toward him while shouting, "Xu Mu is here," and launched various magical treasures and spells at him. Throughout the pursuit, not a single Yao family member personally attacked him, as they remained behind while allowing others to bear the risks. Wang Lin silently memorized the appearance of every cultivator chasing him, engraving each face into his mind. He merged with the world once more and retreated, realizing that the disrupted origin energy mainly blocked forward movement, allowing him to escape backward with less interference. He swore that if he could not take revenge against the Yao family, he would no longer deserve to be called a heaven-defying cultivator. He also blamed every cultivation family participating in the pursuit, believing that without their greed for the reward, the Yao family could never have created such an overwhelming encirclement. As Yao Bingyun's aura once again locked onto him, Wang Lin appeared near another cultivation planet. After scanning it with his divine sense, he found that there were no illusory yin cultivators or stronger experts remaining. Even though the planet possessed abundant spiritual energy, he immediately concluded that its strongest cultivators had all joined the campaign against him. Deciding that fear alone would force the pursuing families to withdraw, Wang Lin launched a merciless slaughter. He swept across the planet like a whirlwind, killing every cultivator at the soul transformation stage or above without hesitation while deliberately sparing all mortals and cultivators below soul transformation. Knowing they had no ability to participate in the pursuit, in less than half the time it took an incense stick to burn, the entire planet had become a sea of blood, with every soul transformation cultivator and above wiped out. Before leaving, Wang Lin pressed his hand onto the ground, creating the enormous words Xu Mu, as a clear warning. Soon afterward, Yao Bingyun arrived and found the devastated planet. Her expression became even colder before she immediately resumed the pursuit. Over the following 30 days, Wang Lin repeatedly appeared throughout the western domain. Every time he arrived near a cultivation planet, he first examined whether its illusory yin cultivators remained. If they were still present, he turned around and left without attacking. If they were absent, he concluded that they had joined the hunt against him and immediately carried out another massacre, killing every soul transformation cultivator and above while once again sparing mortals and weaker cultivators. Wang Lin believed that the Yao family's reward and the greed of the cultivation families were the karmic cause, while his massacres were the unavoidable karmic effect forced upon them. Dozens of cultivation planets were left covered in blood, each bearing only the deeply engraved words, Xu Mu. His relentless campaign of revenge terrified the entire western domain. The massacres were regarded as actions befitting the demonic path, and the title, Master Demon, gradually spread throughout the region. Wang Lin made his intentions unmistakably clear. Anyone who chose to participate in the conflict between himself and the Yao family would inevitably pay the price for that decision. Wang Lin's bloody revenge shocked every cultivator pursuing him. By killing only soul transformation cultivators and above, he warned that anyone continuing the hunt would pay with their family's strongest members while sparing weaker cultivators. Many Western domain cultivation families, unwilling to sacrifice their descendants for the Yao family, withdrew from the pursuit, although families from other domains largely remained. Despite the weakened blockade, Yao Bingyun relentlessly pursued Wang Lin by merging with the world. After enduring 3 days of pursuit, Wang Lin temporarily shook her off and chose an abandoned planet to prepare a deadly trap. Using the annihilation restrictions taught by Li Yuan, he laid down the 9 deaths perish formation. embedding numerous illusory yin and ascendant origin souls throughout the planet while preparing the blood ancestor's origin soul as the formation's final trigger. He then concealed himself deep within the planet using a hiding restriction. 3 days later, Yao Bingyun located the planet and the pursuing cultivators. Believing Wang Lin had only set up a defensive formation, destroyed the entire planet from outside. The collapsing planet scattered fragments across a 100,000-foot area before Wang Lin's hidden formation activated. Purple lightning linked every fragment into a giant cage, and the embedded origin souls detonated in succession, creating a devastating chain reaction that killed countless cultivators. Every fallen cultivator's origin soul was absorbed and forced to explode, making the formation even stronger. Although Yao Bingyun and the surviving powerful cultivators managed to resist part of the destruction, Wang Lin finally detonated the blood ancestor's origin soul, releasing an overwhelming blood-colored shockwave that instantly annihilated numerous illusory yin cultivators and several members of the Yao family. After recalling his soul flag, Wang Lin attempted to escape, but Yao Bingyun had anticipated his appearance and struck him with the soul-perishing seal. Wang Lin was severely injured but survived and escaped once again, forcing Yao Bingyun to continue the chase. Although only part of the pursuing force was destroyed, Wang Lin's formation massacre terrified the All-Heaven star system. He earned the title, Master Demon Shu Mu, while news of his repeated victories over the Yao family spread everywhere. Even inside the Thunder Celestial Temple, Qin Shui praised Wang Lin, saying his style resembled his own in his youth.